about her family and people's powers, and then she had to deflect that like she didn't have any. She had to deflect the fact that she didn't have any, but she was just still so grateful to be a part of her family, and no one actually treated her like she was a part of the family. Was crazy to me. Like, now I'm out here claiming y'all, and y'all just like, now I'm out here singing songs about how great y'all powers are, how much I do for the community, and how much I'm happy to support y'all, and y'all just like, you went away. You don't do nothing for this family. Like what? Like excuse the out of me. Like Maribel, from what I gathered from the movie, both Maribel and Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno, no, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno, no, no. Maribel and Bruno, black sheep of family. Ooh, people don't like that. People don't like that word. People don't like to talk about it. People don't love to talk about the black sheep of the family, not the black sheep. Now, I'm gonna start with Bruno being a black sheep and why he was a black sheep of the family, and then I'm gonna talk about Maribel and how I relate to Maribel and being a black sheep. So, I don't get why Bruno was outcasted because his powers allowed him to see things that didn't make people happy. Like, first off, that damn candle gave me these powers. I didn't wake up one morning and just asked to see stuff. Like that wasn't what he did. So the fact that he was treated like this bad jinx of a person, because every time he spoke about like what was gonna happen, because he was able to see it, is beyond me. Like your boy is not making he not making this stuff up. He was telling y'all so like y'all could be prepared. Sis, your fish is gonna die. Like if you wanted to get a new fish, get a new fish. Bro, you gonna gain weight. Pastor, you gonna go bald. It's gonna rain on your wedding day, sis. Maybe like you want to switch the date. Like that's not his fault. It's not his fault. Like, and then the grandmother had the nerve. You gonna make me use my powers so that you can see into the future, so that you know what happens to avoid it from happening. And I'm the bad guy. You asked me to do this, and because I didn't see what you wanted me to see, like, first of all, you can't use my gift for your own gain and then not be happy with the results. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You asked me to do this. I didn't come to you and was like, "Want to see the future?" No, you came to me for one of my visions, and I told you what I saw. Oh well. He should have been a black sheep. He should not have. He should not have been outcasted from his family. And the fact that this man was living in a world with rats says a lot. Like, your boy set up. He drew a plate. He drew a plate on a table with his name in it, near where they eat dinner, just so he could still be close to his family. Like, that's really ridiculous to me. Like, that's really crazy. Like, this man left his family so much, he one didn't leave the house. He didn't even leave the house. He just decided, I'm gonna live in the walls. Like, what? Like, that's mad creepy, but like, I get it, but it's not. Oh, you're creepy. And then to like, you use the man's powers, you outcast him, and then you tell everybody like we can't talk about him. Like no, we should be able to talk about this. That's part of the problem. A lot of families want to avoid what's going on and don't want to talk about stuff. Oh, it's supposed to stay in the family. It's supposed to stay in the family. Okay, that's fine. If there's stuff y'all want to stay in the family needs to be talking about how we can fix this issue. That's what the family needs to be doing. So like him being outcasted and looked at as like this jinx or this bad person, miss me with that BS. Miss me with it. You can miss me with it. You can miss me with it. Like, what? That's why you're not supposed to be able to look into your future anyway. Because then you're going to do things different. You're going to try to do things different. And you know what? It doesn't always work. It does not always work. So yeah, I ain't like it. I did not like that. Not at all. Nope. Nope. Because Maribel definitely mattered. She definitely mattered. Her feelings, baby, they hurt that girl feelings so many times in this movie. She was just like, I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save our house. I'm gonna save our casita. If people gonna know who I am. Like, but again, That's what I was saying before. It's not a child's place or even a teenager's place to have to prove their worth to somebody, especially not people you related to. Baby, if you want to help me find myself, I appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you. If you want to help me find myself, thank you. And if you don't, that's totally fine. But don't place your negativity on me. Let's not do that. Let's not tell me who I can be, who I can't be, who I shouldn't be, what I can do, what I can't do. Let's not do that. I ain't ask you. Did not ask you. And I don't like that they did that to her. I don't like that they did that to Maribel. I don't like it at all. Not one bit. Not feeling it. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Like, when you're a child, you're made to feel like you're not important and that you don't have any significance. Oddly enough, not even oddly enough, that shows up in your life in multiple ways. But most importantly, it shows up in relationships. And sometimes that's the worst thing we could do for ourselves, is take what someone said about us and latch onto the negativity of it all and decide that it's true. I mean, but to be honest, if you hear something enough, you can believe it. Are such a weapon, and people should be careful at how to use them. Should be very careful on how to use them. I mean, shout out to Maribel's mother for trying to let her know that she was special in multiple ways, but I think her mother's ways were like just instilled in her a little bit more than she's probably willing to admit, in the sense that her mom always made it seem as though like Maribel was like just in a way, taking up space, and she should just step aside while all the people with their gifts like do whatever needed to be done. But when people feel like they don't have a place in their family or a safe space to be themselves, no matter the age, that could be very detrimental to like development. Like a part of independence when you become a teenager is learning how you fit in your family and what you can do like to be useful. And not having that, or no one expressing to you that no one expressing to you that you do fit in and that you're accepted and that no matter what you do, you're loved. That's hard. Like, that is hard. It's a hard feeling to have and not be able to do anything with. Like, family is supposed to be, keyword is supposed to, family is supposed to be the source of like people's strength and where they find community and where they find love, and where you should be able to go to like vent and get advice. Sometimes just exist around people who you know love you. Like, that counts for a lot. Like, just being able to say like, I'm coming over, or want to get something to eat, or meet me here. Like, I mean, yeah, you can do that with friends, don't get me wrong, but it's nothing like family. And I'm so sad to say, like, I don't feel like they don't make families like they used to. Like, the grandma and the grandpas that had a household and they holding it down for the generations to come, and they set precedent, like, this is what we doing. In my family, we move. And it's not only specifically about like taking your problems to the Lord. Now, don't get me wrong. The Lord is first. Do not get me wrong. The Lord is first. Or whatever religion you practice, your Lord, your God, etc., the universe, however you look at it, should come first. Very much so. But like, that's not the only thing. You know that song, Grandma's Hands? I don't even know who that song is by, which that's so crazy. But the significance of that song is talking about all the things that grandma does with her hands. And in other words, how grandmothers hold it down, like beyond hold it down. Like grandmas did everything. I'm sorry I'm so much. Like grandmas did everything, and I feel like the reason that song is never really gonna go like out of style is because your grandma's the matriarch of your family. Like she's the person that teaches the precedent for generation after generation. Like she set the precedent for your mom, and then your mom set it for you, and you're gonna set it for your kids. And I feel like the biggest thing that actually does not get talked about often, that I feel like needs to get spoken about more in our generation or in my generation, is that you don't only have to abide by what you saw and what was taught to you growing up. You do not. You can find another way. And here's where, like, I'm just going to insert myself. So, like, in my family, felt like the black sheep. For sure. Like, I can actually recollect, like, family members talking about me. I can recollect I remember, like, what they were saying, how bad they was talking about me, all of it. All of it. And, it never felt good to hear people talk about you. And it never felt good to hear people talk about you. But it felt worse to hear people talk about you. It was worse to hear people talk about you behind your back and never say anything to your face and never offer up suggestions on how you could be a better person. Like that for me is the part that always gets me. Like, not you sitting around and talking shit about me, but you won't have a conversation with me face to face about whatever my flaws are, or whatever you think my flaws are, and how I could change them or how I could fix it. Like, why wouldn't you, as my family member, want to help me be better? When I became like the biggest disappointment in my family, when I got pregnant with my daughter, and I remember the whispers. Yo, this is hilarious. I remember the whispers. I remember people always just talking about how old I was, and I remember my mother being disappointed, like bad, like, when I say bad, I mean bad. Like, she was hurt. And I remember going to therapy at this time, and the biggest thing on my list in being a mother, this is gonna sound hella harsh, but the biggest thing on my list in becoming a mom was not being like my mom. And I know that sounds like crazy, but here's why. I never wanted to be the type of mother who did not validate my children's feelings. I never wanted to be the type of mother whom got too busy for her kids. I never wanted to be the type of mother who didn't like fight for a better relationship with my children. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not a perfect parent in any way, shape, or form, and I will never say that I am. But I will say that the one thing I will say though is that I tried. The one thing I will say though is that I stepped outside of my comfort zone to learn other ways to parent my child outside of your typical beatings and punishments. I often sit down and have real life conversations with my daughter about life outside of our house and how I grew up and what I changed and why I changed it. Like, one of the biggest things, when I say like one of the biggest things on my list was not being my mom, like, I meant that, and I found a way to incorporate being the type of parent I wanted to be with the things that I appreciated and the things that I liked that my mother did. So finding an even balance between the mother that I wanted to be and the mother that I was technically being raised to be. Like, I wanted something different, and I feel like in so many ways it has paid off. In so many ways it has shown up and been an amazing blessing to see that I made that come to fruition. Like, I grew up in a household where hugging and kissing was like so far in between. Like, showing affection was like weakness. Like, and I don't understand that. Like, what? Not even just showing affection. Showing any kind of emotion was a weakness, and I just, for the life of me, don't understand that. Like, what? Like, why? Why am I not as a child upset me and I'm crying? You asking me why I'm crying versus like a different approach, which is the approach I would take, is what are you feeling right now? Is there anything I can do to help you? Do you want a hug? Do you need something? Do you want to talk to mommy? Like, do you know how far that can go? So far. And I like to be able to see the difference that I made from where I was in my childhood and what I felt and what I was taught to like everything with my daughter. Like, your girl just had COVID. And I low-key was destroyed inside. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Low-key was destroyed inside, not like being able to hug my child when she came home from school. Or like not being able to lay up under her or her lay up under me and us watch shows like we normally do. Like, that's hard. That's like a regular thing for us. So like to be sick and to notice and like I'm here in the house and got my mask on and she just wants to lay her head on me and I'm like you can't. Like that hurt me. So like it hurted me. I can only imagine how it made her feel because I make a conscious effort to care about her feelings. I make a conscious effort to show her that her feelings matter. And because if I don't, who's gonna show her that? If we don't as parents, who's gonna show her that like her feelings matter and that she matters? Like who's gonna show her that? Like at some point, as a parent, being accountable for regulating your emotions and how they show up when your children are around is important. It's very important. Another lesson I got from Encanto is how sometimes it takes a village. Like, treat people how you want to be treated. Therefore, it's no problem when it comes time for you needing help. Like the way the whole community bust out in song and pulled up on the scene and was like, "We're gonna help y'all fix y'all casita." Girl, like having always been there for the community pulled up. Like that was fire. We need that. Like anybody needs that. Like a community and somewhere you can feel safe is important. So like treat people how you want to be treated. It's really, I swear to God, it's not that hard being nice to people. Like there are some weird people, don't get me wrong. I'm not even really a people person, but like you can still be nice. Like nobody's saying that like you gotta have a billion best friends. No. But you can be respectful of people. I don't think that costs anyone anything. Like it doesn't cost you anything to be respectful to someone. It doesn't cost you anything to be nice. It doesn't cost you not a dime. It costs you absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing to be nice to someone. However, being mean to someone can cost you a lot of negative energy. It could cause you stress. Maybe it could even cause you health problems. Who wants that? Who wants that? I know I said a soft. Well, this is soft pink, but that other bright pink. It just was given, y'all. I need a little pop. So I made a little pop. But like, what? Be nice to people. Be nice to people. It's not that hard. Another thing, like just another lesson is like was in accepting like your significant other's flaws and praising like what makes them unique. Like the fact that oh my God, what's this lady's husband's name? Antonio's father. The fact that like his wife literally makes storms and he's always there like to let her know like calm down. Like everything's gonna be okay. Like we got this. It's gorgeous. It's so sweet. And then Maribel's father marrying her mom and saying like we not magical people. We not. And it was hard for us to fit in here, but like we did it. And that's another thing that's a little bit baffling to me. Like, not the outsiders came in and they fit in, but like I was born into this. And I knew that it's true to this, and they fit in, but I don't. No, it's really more so because the grandmother saw the future, that she started treating Maribel different, like as if she was the problem. But like, did you ever ask to see the vision again? Did you ever ask for the tapes to be rewind? Did you ever think he could have saw it wrong or something you missed? You know, just treating people all any kind of way. Ooh, it's nasty. It's nasty behavior. Especially coming from grandmother. Like, not you to make sure I come our family, and you being toxic. Ugh. Toxicity. It ain't good. It's not good. Not good at all. And then making excuses for why you treating someone, like for why you're not treating someone nicely, is crazy. Yeah, like that. I'm gonna sit around and I'm gonna be toxic, but it's okay because I'm the elder. Nope. Run it back. Run that back. You're not gonna sit around me and decide that like it's okay for you to be toxic because you're the oldest person in this family. Now, like, I'm not about to check you. I'm not about to check you for it, but I don't have to be around you. I don't have to celebrate you as if you're like this, not even perfect being. Like you're just this nice person when I can't feel that. I can't feel that way about you, and I don't feel that way about you. And that's because of how you treat me. Like, Maribel is sweetheart, but I also love the fact that Maribel took into consideration like how much her grandmother actually went through to make them the family that they are. How much she did sacrifice, how much of her life she put on the line, how she lost her husband, like the love of her life, I'm sure. And those things are not easy to deal with. I don't know if I would call it survivor's guilt, because it wasn't like an accident, but you know, she probably feels it. Like, she probably feels survivor's guilt in the sense that like you're not here anymore, and here I am, and we have all of this, and that can't be easy. Like, that's like the life that she was living with her family is probably what her and her husband had planned. And maybe it's not to that extent, because sure, they wasn't expecting nobody to get powers or nothing, but in the sense that like this was supposed to be the life that we were supposed to live, like happily ever after with our children. One day